What's up, NBA family, what's up, all sports fans? It's your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network channel. Giving a shout out to the rest of the crew. I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Keep supporting Behind the Bench. Help make this channel the best it can be. Hey, I have to mention this real quick. Look, let's get right to it, man. Now, I came across this right after the game tonight between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans, right? And the Lakers stormed back and they won the game in the end. I believe it was by the score 104-99. Now, mind you, the Pelicans are depleted. They missing like 7, 8 rotational players, including the main guy, Zion Williamson, which, I mean, over half the roster is injured. But nonetheless, the Lakers won the game, right? So I came across this tweet. I just want to show the tweet, not the person who tweeted it. You know, I don't roll like that. But I just want to show the tweet of what was said here. Now check this out. This is what I've been alluding to all this time. Now check this out. The person says, this is right after the game. The fans love the baby Lakers and still support them until this day. Obviously, getting AD and an instant championship was worth it. BI will always get love from Laker fans and is welcome back. I'm going to read that one more time. The fans love the baby Lakers and still support them until this day. Obviously, getting AD and an instant championship was worth it. BI will always get love from the Laker fans and is welcome back. This is the issue I've been having all this time. Now, most people will say it's worth it. I get that. I'll put it this way. Based on the climate and the environment that has been cultivated over these past 15 years, I realize why a person would say that. But to me, it doesn't feel worth it because you had to sacrifice your own to achieve that shortcut victory. See, to me, it was worth it when you hear stories about these superstars or teams that have persevered, you know, and suffered a mighty defeat along the way. Because I never forget something that former Chicago Bulls coach, former NBC basketball analyst Doug Collins said. When he coached Michael Jordan with the Bulls in the late 80s, coached Michael Jordan again during Jordan's Washington Wizard years. And he said something that always stood out. He became the best analyst on TV for the NBA. He was the best for about 5 years. He said, in order to become a champion, you have to get your heart broke. In order to become a champion, you have to get your heart broke. What I mean by that is, even if you look at someone like Magic Johnson, he came in the league, rookie season, he won a championship, right? But it won again in 1982. But he suffered 2 consecutive defeats in the finals, right? And he had to overcome that to become a champion again. And it was worth it because when you saw Magic Johnson avenge that loss or redeem his performance in the 1984 NBA championship, and then he comes back a year later to lead the Lakers to the title, beating Boston in Boston Garden in '85. The feeling, man, it's a as a fan, man, it's a level of like just it's an emotion that overtakes you, man, and it just, man, you just celebrate it. You know, you always go back to that moment. You're like, wow, man, I remember where I was when that happened, man. You still get goosebumps thinking about it, right? So what I'm trying to say is, man, when a person says I still got love, because Brandon Ingram had a great game tonight. You know, trying to lead a depleted squad. He had like 32 points, about what 8 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds. He had a great game and played great defense, man. And my thing is, man, when they're young, that's when you're supposed to show that love. That's when you're supposed to back them. That's just my attitude, man. That's just my attitude. And I would say this during any decade that I've watched Lakers basketball. When Showtime ended, when officially had a run and ended, came to a close, when James Worthy retired in 1993. Magic Johnson had retired 2 years prior. Byron Scott moved on. AC Green moved on. So Kareem had retired in 1989. So Showtime had officially ended, man. And you started over, man. And the players that they drafted, to start that new era, you know, he knew it was going to be some growing pains there before they became a viable playoff team, right? And became a force, Uh, now, based on the environment that existed then, well, the mindset of the fan was different. It wasn't, oh man, we're going to trade them off and try to seek a shortcut path to victory. Now, the attitude was, man, we're gonna give them three years and we're gonna watch them take off. That was the attitude. And that's the attitude that was missing in this equation that I wish we still had. And like I said, man, hey, look, I know my personal take on this, man. I know it's rare. I get that, man. I know it may seem foreign. And it's definitely not about living in the past. It's not about that because I watch been watching NBA continuously, man. Just picking up on tendencies. Really peeping how organizations are building up their teams, man. And I know for a fact that they adopted the Lakers blueprint. I know it, man. I can look at it and literally tell, man. But my question is, when someone say baby Lakers, well, what he's saying is no matter what, they're Lakers. And in my mind, Brandon Ingram, a player like Brandon Ingram, is more of a Laker than the two superstars that's currently playing for the team. That's just me, man. That's just how I roll. And considering the fact that they were drafted to be the new representation of the franchise moving forward in the future. They are Lakers. And like I said, when you look back on it, when someone say, well, trading to get Anthony Davis in a championship was worth it, well, what's that telling me is subconsciously, when someone says that, then they know that the young core was sacrificed. And there's no question about it because to say that, man, we gonna always have love for them. Well, I can't really wrap my mind around it because if the love is still there, then that means they should have been Lakers for way longer than what they wound up being. It was all premature when it was let go. Like I said, I'm not trying to. It's not about a broken record, man. But I anticipate these type of comments, man, because like I said, we've never seen a franchise do this before. To pursue a championship, never. This league been around forever, man, and we never seen in any decade that look. The Lakers if anyone goes back and really study Showtime Lakers, really gonna study Showtime Lakers, they gonna see that not 1 year did they take away from their future to keep that run going. Not 1 year. They didn't make no block, but if you look at it, they traded for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1975, prior to the 75-76 season, right? Okay. So outside of that, they didn't make no other so-called blockbuster trades. Every player who they brought in was drafted, man, or either they acquired the rights to draft them by trading, making a trade to acquire the rights for a player, start as a rookie. Uh, so Magic, Cooper, Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, Norm Nixon, James Worthy, AC Green, Byron Scott. You know what I'm saying? Those cornerstone players, they was drafted, man. They did not mortgage any of their future away. I'm talking about, but not one instance in any move that they made. Any so-called trade that they did make, it was not at the expense of trading away a cornerstone player. It was like okay, we need to get a rebounder. Okay, so we'll bring in like a Michael Thompson or something like that. You know, uh, but really, for the last 5 seasons of Showtime's run, man, they didn't make any trades, dog. Outside of Michael Thompson, that was it, and that was only because Kareem was getting older, and they knew he couldn't rebound like he once did. But I'm not trying to, you know, uh, uh it, it, I, when I read this, man, when I read this, when I read these words back, man, uh, how can you still support them to this day, but they're no longer on the team? So when they say an instant championship, like, okay, that's a shortcut. That's a shortcut. And like I said, look, when you honor competition, man, uh, a shortcut is going to lead to another attempt to generate another shortcut, which is going to lead to another attempt to generate a shortcut. But what's ironic is when you look at the Lakers this year, and I know Anthony Davis is he's playing great to start the season off. But if you really look at the team, the real reason why they're off to a good start, honestly, is because of young talent that they feature. Dalton Connect, who they drafted this offseason. Austin Reeves, who was scouted 3 years ago as an undrafted player. Max Christie, who can come in and give you some good minutes, play some good defense and whatnot. So really, if you look at it, even when you have superstars in this manner of which they was brought to the team, what's really going to anchor you throughout the course of a season is your own players, man. I know it sounds crazy, but if you look at the trajectory of the league, your cornerstone. Look at OKC was driving a team. Even the Sacramento Kings, how they become a playoff level team. Since being out of the postseason. Previously like for 18 years straight. Golden State, they continue to bring in young players and a key free agent acquisition to come off the bench, but was stabilizing a team is the young talent that they bringing in through their system, man. I'm telling you, man, it works. It works because the more you develop that foundation, well, you know exactly what type of players that you need. And more often than not, you're not gonna rely on big name free agents. It's a style of play. You see what I'm saying? So in closing, like I said, man, the love would have been there by simply backing them and saying, you know what, we're gonna see it through. And like I said, when you go this route, more often than not, you're gonna sell yourself short. Then if you do break through and so-called win, you're gonna try to justify that from here on out. But if you stay the course and if you truly believe and you back what's already there, I believe you be more satisfied in the end. That's just me, man. I could be old fashioned and whatnot, but I don't think when it comes to being a fan of the NBA and basketball, I, I don't believe my thinking has ever changed. I don't believe in the super team. Never did. Never jailed, man. I just never understood how can we sit here and try to convince ourselves that superstars taking a shortcut, is on level with what superstars had to do in the past and really lead their teams to victory. So, but uh, imagine if Brandon Ingram would have been allowed to develop as a Laker rather than being traded away. He'd be way better than what he is right now. You know. But I'm not trying to beat a dead horse for whoever's listening, man. But I anticipate these type of comments. It don't surprise me, but at the same time, when you read it like that, so really what you're saying is like in my mind, when I read that, my interpretation of that is saying I'm cool with getting rid of my own to just so I can say I rooted for a team that won a championship. But your own really didn't lead the way. If you look uh, if you look back at the Kobe Shaq dynamic, if you look back at the Kobe and Shaq dynamic, yes, Shaq was a 4-year veteran when they signed him as a free agent, and yes, he was. Excuse me, Kobe was 18 years old, starting his career. Okay, so quite naturally, okay, Shaq is going to be quote unquote the man starting out. But the team didn't start winning the championships with them as the best two players until Kobe came of age as an original Laker. You see what I'm saying? And then you had Derek Fisher too, who was drafted by the team the same year as Kobe Bryant. So I believe at the end of the day, your own players will always be the driving force. Always. When you start talking about establishing a championship run, it's always going to be driven by your own. From Denver to Milwaukee, Golden State a couple years ago, what OKC is doing now, teams like OKC, look, Houston off to a good start. And I mean, yeah, they made some key acquisition. They brought in like a Dylan Brooks or whatnot as an anchor to what they doing. But when the young players emerge, that's when Houston is taking that jump. The Jalen Greens, the Jabari Smith, the Alperen Senguns, players like that, as they improve, that's when Houston is taking off. It's not based on Dylan Brooks or Fred Van Vliet. They're to anchor. It's the young talent as they emerge and mature. And we see evidence of this time and time again. I mean, it's really nothing different than what we saw in the past, but it's more magnified now. It's more discernible because you can clearly see the difference between going that way and then going the shortcut way. That's what I'm trying to say. But uh, like I said, this fan even said, man, they know, even to this day, Brandon Ingram is a Laker. Julius Randle is a Laker. Josh Hart is a Laker. Kyle Kuzma is a Laker. Ivica Zubac is a Laker. They was all let go and traded. And like I said, it had nothing to do with them whether or not they was improving because they was all improving. That wasn't the issue. It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with them. It was about the situation, and that's why I've always supported them, man. And like I said, I just be glad when this is all over. And I hope they really do get they just due when all this is done, and just get their respect because when you look at it, Brandon Ingram is representing the franchise right now whose star player he cannot maintain health and stay on the court. Now I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying, maybe just one of the players that's going to be injury prone, uh, and won't be able to establish himself. But nonetheless, you got Ingram down there representing the franchise where he's not viewed as the franchise player. Julius Randle's been traded to a team where Anthony Edwards is viewed as the number one guy. So it's like they really don't have no home, man. Look, I just believe in certain things, man. I believe in certain things, and I believe that if you stay patient, stay the course, and believe what you're doing, that you can win, man. I believe that heart of hearts. I really do. I really do, because we done seen it time and time again, But I'm not trying to mumble. I'm not trying to do anything like that. But at the end of the day, man, they're Lakers, man. Think about it. This cat said baby Lakers. So they were Lakers at the very beginning of their career, entering the league at 18 years old. So you know they're not gonna win a championship at 18 or 20. The guy who they got rid of the players for, he didn't win no championship starting out at 20 years old. And the superstar that they mortgaged the future to get, he didn't win no championship at 20 years old. You see what I'm saying? So now if they did, I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't say nothing. One guy didn't win his first championship until his 9th year in the league. And the other guy didn't win until, let's say, about his 8th year in the league. But our real players, on average, were entering maybe their 3rd year when they was let go. No, man. Now just imagine if they was all allowed to stay together and grow and develop and truly rep the franchise. Well, who's to say they couldn't have won in their 7th or 8th year, or maybe sooner? So my point is this. This is my point. I'm going to end this. So the two superstars on the team now, this ain't a knock. This is just the reality of where their career stood before they was brought to this franchise. So the two superstars playing together right now on this team, they did not win, let's say, until on average their 8th year, right? That's just the reality. Okay, so the way I look at it is, the franchise gave up itself to such a degree where you got two players on the team right now. In 8 years, I mean, that's a standard time. Jordan won his first championship in year 7. Isaiah Thomas won his first championship in year 8. Paul Pierce won his first championship probably in year 9. So he entered the league like in 19 with the 98, 99 season. So about his 19th year in the league. Dirk Nowitzki, year 13. Okay. So what's to say that our real players, with the right star player to anchor them and to truly elevate them, I believe they could have won way sooner than 8 or 9 years. I believe they could have did it within 5 or 6 after they got drafted. So, like I said, at this point is all mute. Like I said, I'm not trying to say this ain't about the past. It's about what was given up. That's the issue. That's the crux. We never seen a professional sports franchise do this before. It's a reason why this hasn't been done before. Because it's not feasible. So I know everything looking good right now. The team is off to a good start per se. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I do believe in my heart of hearts that a real built team is going to prevail and win this conference and go to the finals. A team that started from scratch, when the Lakers did win in 2020, a lot of teams was just getting started. But now they've already caught up. So the odds are, okay, Denver won in 23. They won 2 years ago. OKC is better this year than they were last year when they was number one seed. Uh, Golden State is back. They've off to a strong start, but we'll see where it ends. And then the Dallas of the world, the Minnesotas of the world, they've made new acquisitions, so they have to develop the chemistry per se. And I believe that they'll make their surge, by mid-season. You start to see them reach their potential. So the way I look at it is the odds are a real built team that didn't take no shortcuts is going to prevail and win this conference. That's just I just believe in that. The history shows that. Um, but like I said, man, they all still Lakers, man. No matter where they go and where they play, they still Lakers, boss. And they know it. This fan knows. That's why he said, baby Lakers, we still got love for them. But the thing was, they would sacrifice. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that it ain't true. And that's why I still back them, man. I back them because they're Lakers. You see what I'm saying? I support Dalton Connect. I support Austin Reed, Max Christie. You know what I'm saying? Because they Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I have more of an affinity to support them and back them because I know the organization drafted them for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like they got Lakers stamped in their heart. You know what I'm saying? And it's never gonna go away. I bet you in the back of Brandon Ingram's mind, he sees himself, even though he played for the Pelicans, he sees himself as a Laker. I guarantee it. Same thing with Julius Randle. I guarantee it. But I just want to share this, man, and like I said, I ain't trying to. I just think I've never seen nothing like this before. So my thinking is very deep when it comes to this, man. Otherwise, if this was normal, man, I'd be just rocking and rolling, waiting for the next game, and I wouldn't be saying all this, man. But the situation led me to think this way until this is all over. You know what I'm saying? But now you got fans wanting Brandon Ingram to come back because he a baller. Well, imagine what it would have been if he'd have been playing for the Lakers the whole time. I think he'd be right there with Jason Tatum. Me personally, Jason Tatum was drafted by a team that was already playoff caliber. He was able to develop and grow at his own rate. There was no talks about trading him per se early on in his career. He was able to focus along with Jaylen Brown to develop their dynamic as becoming the best two players on the team, and they persevered year by year. They had playoff struggles, lost early in the playoffs and whatnot, but eventually they became a champion, dog. And we could have did the same thing. There's no doubt in my mind. And we had an even deeper body of young players. We had a deeper young core than Boston did, But I just wanted to share this. Nothing surprised me at this point. I'll read this one more time. The fans love the baby Lakers and still support them until this day. Obviously, getting AD in an instant championship was worth it. B.I. will always get love from Laker fans and is welcome back. So what it comes down to is the shortcut was the preferred method. That's really what it comes down to. That's not going to guarantee you anything, man. You may get that 1 year, man, but the back end, see, like I said, I wanted to roll for 10, 12 years where you ain't got to worry about, man, we got to give up draft picks, 5, 7 years down the road and facilitate a trade. No, man, let's do this the right way and just build. And we'll exceed expectations. But in the era that we're in the NBA, that it is reaching its end, though. This will not continue. But it's been going on for way too long, and it led the Lakers to cast out his own, man. But go Brandon Ingram. I just want to drop that golden nugget. Until next time, JB for BTB. behind the bench.